The Solo Leveling Season 2 finale left us off at chapter 111, and before I get into it, they did skip quite a few things in that finale that are extremely important to the plot, and I'm assuming they'll incorporate it into Season 3, so I'll just explain those things as they come up. Here we are in the Red Gate, and Sung Jinwoo has finally made it to the final boss. They don't really explain what he is, but he gives Centaur Reptile Hybrid. Final clash begins, and Sung Jinwoo's army per usual is having little to no trouble. Finally get to the boss, and Biru is the first one to land a blow. As you can see, he rips off his right arm. Side note, I've already read a little bit ahead, not gonna lie, Biru is definitely my favorite shadow. Tigers comes right behind him and swipes the legs, which brings the giant down to his knees. Your boy Tuss used gravity acceleration to pin him down completely. Since this is a red gate and this is technically a special event, Jinwoo tries to press the monster for information, but he was pretty much shut down before he can get anything out of him, and Sung Jinwoo assumed the system interfered again. For completing the dungeon, he received a black key with a description that he normally wouldn't be able to read, but since he leveled up to 100 in Jeju Island, he now meets the requirements to read things like this. He finds out that this is the key to the Kartanon Temple, which is the temple from the very first episode of Solo Leveling. However, before he can use it to open the gate, there's a wait period of 417 hours. This key will basically take him back to where everything started and give him a chance to find the answers to what the system is and why he was chosen. You feel this sense of excitement from Sung Jinwoo that he gets to go back to where this all started, except this time, he's much stronger and much more experienced. He says to himself that this was planned by a higher being all along, then just wait cause he'll be there soon. Point of view switches back to the Monarch of Frost, which if you can remember from the anime, he's on the search for fragments of brilliant light, whatever that fucking means. And apparently he still hasn't found one yet. Suddenly a gate opens and another monarch named Yogamund appears. He comes to let the other monarch know that things are about to go down in the land of the east, most likely referring to Korea. His words exactly were they plan on releasing the Legia, whatever that is, we don't know yet, south of that location, which is where he's headed. Frost Monarch is basically like, I know we're not talking about the same land in the east where the Shadow Monarch resides. So it sounds like he's kind of worried that Sung Jinwoo's presence might affect their plans, but Yogamund says as long as the architect carries out his assignment, there shouldn't be a problem. He adds on that another reason they're targeting that area is that it's been confirmed that the greatest fragment of brilliant light resides there. So the Frost Monarch is like, alright, bet. Now on to more pressing matters, it seems like they were both lured to the location they're at. And out of nowhere, a hooded man appears asking them if by land in the east they're referring to Korea. When you get a closer look at this mysterious man, he does look a lot like Sung Il-won, which is Sung Jinwoo's father. Frost Monarch opens the gate and is like, yeah, I'm not about to engage with you again, but catch us if you can. But before he could hop in the gate, Sung Il-won was able to catch him and now they're engaged in a clash. But unfortunately, we don't get to see it because there is a point of view switch. After the raid on the Red Gate, Jinwoo stops back by the office and Jinho was in there stressed the fuck out. While Jinwoo was battling gate beasts, Jinho was battling internet trolls. Bro was there all day clapping back at haters and responding to all the complaints on Sung Jinwoo. Jinwoo picked up on it. You know, he's not a man of many words, but he was like, thank you so much for all your hard work. Also, here's a big old bag of treasure for us to start our guild. Let's get to it. Now, Jinho was like, alright, now that we got the money, first and foremost, what are we gonna call ourselves? He suggested the Sung Yo Guild, which basically combines their last names. Even though the Yo Sung Guild sounds a little bit better, he knows he can't put his name before Sung Jinwoo's. Jinwoo already had a name in mind since we know he's great at picking names, and that name is Solo Players Guild, which is such a terrible name. Jinho thought he was joking, but we all know Sung Jinwoo doesn't joke. It's also the problem of them needing another employee. In order to be recognized as a legitimate guild, you need to have at least 2 founding members and 1 additional person. But before they could get too deep into this whole name thing, there was a knock at the door and neither of them were expecting a guest, so they had no clues to who it was. Much to their surprise, it's Miss Fine Shit herself, Cha Hae-in. What's even more surprising is she's there to sign up for their guild. Jinwoo is completely skeptical. Why would an S-rank hunter of her caliber, who's making great money where she's at, want to come work for a guild that has absolutely no money to offer her? It's like, did Mr. Go put you up to this? Did you get kicked out of your guild? Cause I'm gonna let you know right now, we ain't got no money. And on top of that, she's still under contract with her guild, which means they'd have to pay to break her contract. And again, he ain't got it. Tae said, nah, I'm good, I'm paped up, I'll cover my own contract. So Jinwoo, still taken aback, asks again, why do you want to join the Solo Players Guild? On the outside he looks serious, but deep down inside, this man is completely confused. Then he starts to notice her heart rate elevated, she's avoiding contact, she's looking a little bit, flushed in the face. As if she's trying to keep her cool, but deep down inside slowly losing her shit. We get to see inside of Cha Hae-in's brain for a second. She thinks if he knows why she wants to join the guild, she'll sound insane. Then we see this montage of every moment they've ever shared together. Starting with when she caught handyman Sung Jinwoo sneaking into that gate. It was the first time she realized she was attracted to Sung Jinwoo's scent. And then we see when she woke up and Mr. Go is explaining how he saved her at Jeju Island. Although she was technically unconscious during the rest of the Jeju Island raid, she still could kind of feel what was going on and it felt like it was a dream. But she knew deep down inside he had saved her. Then we the reader got the real answer as to why she was there. She thought to herself, I want you by my side until I draw my last breath. At this point, it's taking her entire being not to just pour out her feelings to this man. Jinwoo was kind of aloof, but also at the same time, I feel like he has a slight feeling as to what's going on. Still think she's up to something, but I think he's slowly coming off of the skepticism and a little bit more like, okay, what's really going on here? This time he tries a different approach. He tells her there's an entrance exam you must pass in order to join our guild. The exam is she must defeat one of his shadows. And not just any shadow. She must defeat the strongest shadow he's able to summon. So he's basically trying to let Shorty down gently by putting her in a situation he knows she can't win in. Chahae-in ain't no host. She said, let's get to it.